I'm Dwayne Liptak, EVP of Magpul Industries, here to talk about some of the new things we have, as well as some of the things we released in Q4 of last year, and some of the things that are also coming that are AR related. So obviously, belle of the ball with a lot of interest is the T-Mag. So that is obviously our ODT, we call it, olive drab translucent magazine. This has been a kind of a 10-year materials science project, trying to find a translucent material that met our standards for reliability as well as impact protection and all those things. Dust cabinet testing is really hard to pass with translucent material. We finally found one. Everything TOP 32045, full weapon drops, all the other rough handling tests, passes Silk-A-Cell like a dream, as reliable as a Gen M3 PMag. And also some of the things that were asked because of the way that this material works. We don't have any ribbing on it. It is slick-sided, so it's a very slim magazine, very much like the original eMag, except for it has that Gen M3 floor plate, so it's actually even slimmer on the base than what the eMag form factor was. We got the texture on the front and back, and unlike most translucents, we kept the mag level window functionality. One of the things that's frustrating to us, and one of the reasons why we believe that the mag level window was superior for telling how much you had remaining in the magazine, is because once the round stack goes up into the mag well, you can't see it, right? So you can see the follower legs or whatever, and you have a rough idea, but you no longer see the round stack. That white painted spring leg corresponds with the numbers on the side. And if you really want to get ambitious, you could color fill them with a Sharpie, but they're fairly easily visible. That white spring leg tells you exactly how many rounds you have left after it goes into the, so after it goes into to the mag well, you can still see that. Of course, it still works when you can see the cartridges as well, and gives you an accurate exact number, or roughly within one or two cartridges what's remaining. Over travel stop, just like Gen M3, all the Gen M3 geometry and features and reliability, and that is just about ready. We're playing with some processes to see if we can tweak a little bit more out of it, but this is a textured magazine with the final mold and the whole deal. We should be shipping in spring, we're saying, but the ambition is to beat that pretty handily. So as far as Mag 556, Mag 557 are still our recommendation for high-end professional user, the magazine that you want to run unless you have a specific reason to run a translucent. And some of the reasons that you may have to run a translucent are that you are using marking rounds, such as SIMs or UTMs or whatever you happen to have. Marking rounds, you can make sure that that's what's in the magazine. There's no live rounds that got themselves in there mixed up. Keep you safe. Same thing with blanks. You may want to make sure that you have all blank ammunition in there. If you are also, there were some European customers that had guard force turnover concerns where they had to have 100% ammunition accountability on guard force turnover. So with a translucent magazine, they can say, yep, they're all live rounds. I have exactly this many, this number of rounds. I'm turning that over to you. And they wanted a translucent to do that. So there's another reason. And the other one is there's a lot of people that just like the aesthetics of a translucent magazine. And so that's probably the preponderance of the users that might be interested in a translucent. All right, so a couple of new stocks that one released in Q4 of last year, the DT stock, and then the have at it.
Thank you.
You got it. The Mo PR, which is shipping probably in 2 days or so. The Mo PR is an announcement for this show. It's basically Mo stock, Mo fitment, but we wanted some kind of precision features for that OEM kind of build. That Mo, it certainly fits into the Mo category, but it's got bag rider capability. The front hook's nice to grab to pull it into your shoulder. Doesn't come with a QD, but at that price point, you're still under the price of a stock with an integrated QD by adding the QD on the other side or whichever side you want to. You can use that as that M-LOK slot as a footman's loop if you like. It is compatible with CTR cheek risers if you're working with a platform that you don't have to worry about charging handle interference, or if you're running it extended far enough that you don't have to worry about it. You can run all of the CTR cheek risers on it, and it does come with kind of that SL butt pad with the rollover toe and that geometry that most folks have come to appreciate. There are more stocks coming in this line throughout 2024. So that's one of the things. We have a bunch of programs that we are working on, and I know we kept saying this every year that we come out, that we're going to try to get to not announcing products until they're ready to ship, but we're actually doing it now. We have enough in the pipeline and enough coming out that we are not going to talk about things until they're actually ready to ship or shipping or just about ready. We're actually going to announce that shipping on Thursday, so that'll be headed out to everyone and available on the website on Thursday. This is the DT stock. This incorporates our new dual tension cartridge. It gives you a secondary lockup function that takes all of the rattle and wiggle out of the stock mechanism, but it doesn't require a secondary lock like the CTR does, and it doesn't require springs that impact or slide on the tube like the SL system. So when you release the latch on the DT cartridge, it actually is a free sliding adjustment, and when you let it go, the pin goes in, and then there's a secondary locking mechanism that automatically clamps down. So it's real nice. There's no rattle. And the geometry, we really like this kind of the Delta design that is originated with the CTR. This updates it a little bit, adds some things that we like to do for strength. So this stock is actually really bomb-proof, and exceeds everything else that we do in a carbine except for like UBR with respect to drop tests. Does have finally an anti-rotation QD. We're not using stock geometry to do that like we have for years with many of the others. That anti-rotation QD is actually being retrofitted in all the other stocks. So every Magpul stock will finally come with a true anti-rotation QD. This is not an M-lock slot on this one, just a footman's loop since we have a QD, but it also allowed us to be a little slimmer back there. New butt pad. So the new butt pad incorporates both the SL rollover toe as well as some of the curvature from the CTR and previous legacy stocks. We found that this combination is really awesome. It's kind of the new favorite butt pad internally. It has all of the benefits and none of the drawbacks of either of the previous generations. So really like the way this feels and interfaces with the shoulder. Last thing is it is compatible with CTR cheek risers. For those platforms where you do not have charging handle interference, or if you're running the stock long enough that you don't have to worry about it causing charging handle interference, it is nice to be able to add that cheek riser to make sure that the rifle fits properly, that when your cheek's on the stock, that you have the appropriate height above the stock with your cheek weld to look through the center of the optic. So you can adjust fit primarily for guns that do not have the reciprocating charging handle on the aft like the AR, so it does get in the way if you have the stock choked up, of course. So something like the MCX or things like that. But if you're running it long enough, like I just said, it obviously clears and it's not an issue. But that is a nice feature to have, and of course all the CTR cheek risers will fit. There are additional variants of the DT stock line coming, so this mechanism, you may see something that looks similar to the MOPR, you may see some storage options, you may see some things like that. This cartridge is pretty cool, we're pretty happy with that one, and so you're going to see more stocks incorporating that functionality down the line.